So this is for those that start stuff, stop, start stuff, stop, or you just become interested and uninterested. You think you're interested in something and then you kind of fall off, and it's just like later on down the line, you're like, this not really giving what I thought it was gonna give. I don't know about you, but I know for me, that happens to me quite often. And I have to really sit with myself now, because now it's like, girl, what is really going on? Like, let's get to the bottom of this. Not that I'm, like getting older and it's starting to weigh on me heavy now, but it's more of, I know there is a default setting within me somewhere, some type of blockage that is just causing me to, I'll have like this really high of, being interested in something, and I'll start to tap into it. I really think that I'm passionate about something, and it could be something that seems like it comes to me easily, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do this. And it's just like, all right, once I get my certification in it or something, or whatever the case may be, or once I like start tapping into it, it's just like, I often feel like I'm not as passionate about it as I thought I would be. And I feel like for years I keep doing that to myself. And I'm getting over it. Like, now it's just like, girl, what's going on? So I have to ask myself, from time to time. Sometimes, I'll journal it out, and then try to go about it in a way that, I try to give myself grace at the same time, because not everybody, I know that I'm not ever going to have life figured out. It's not something that we're ever going to have figured out. Like, you just kind of move at it, as you go, and just kind of roll with the punches of it, right? And just try to, whatever works for you, in certain seasons of your life, you just kind of rock with it, right? And it's been like, I feel like whatever I put my hands to, like, I can master it with no problem. But I don't really be interested in it like that, if that makes sense. And I really want to get into something that I'm actually truly passionate about. I want something to be fulfilling to me. And I don't know if it has anything to do with Geminis, we're mind people. A lot of things have to do with the brain, right? And like I said, I'll be curious about a lot of things, and then when I get involved into it, the high goes down, because maybe I had that talk with myself. Maybe that's just what it is here. Maybe you're just curious about something. You just want to experience it, but you don't have to feel obligated to be that as part of your identity, if that makes sense. And I want to make whatever it is, I want it to be income, bring in income with just by me being. If that is that a hard question to ask? Can I make income just by being? And not having to so much do and feel be overstimulated. And when we talk about overstimulation, something else that I'm learning about is, stop, Bella, my cat, excuse me. It seems like anxiety has gotten worse. I don't know if it's because I'm reading so much about it now. And so it's putting more, you know, thoughts, um, in my energetic space. Every time that I scroll social media, people are talking about neuroscience, anxiety, things like that, which is perfectly fine. But I'm also understanding that whatever you give your energy to, like, that's what's going to continue showing up in your reality. And right now, like, I'm calm. I'm okay. I'm okay with sharing myself, right? And my thoughts, like, I'm okay with that. But anytime that I feel like forced about anything, that's when, I start to feel like panic attack and things like that. I just want more to come into my life to where it feels natural for me, as far as like responding to things or doing things. I want it to all feel natural. I don't want nothing to feel forced, because when that happens, I feel like that's where the overstimulation starts to happen for me. I don't know if anybody else can relate, but that's what starts to happen for me. And when I did take this, I took one class like maybe some months back or whatever. And I'm always, anybody that knows me knows that I'm really like, I'm really a quiet person. I don't talk a lot. I'm just observant, right? I take a lot of mental notes. So with me being quiet, that's me taking in what I feel like I need to know, right? So that I understand. And you're not going to catch me talking a lot, because for me, the talking it can become chaotic and causes me not to be able to grasp what I need to, right? And then also, a lot of talk I feel like is not necessary, honestly. I also think that one thing I picked up on, and Spirit revealed this to me as well, and I don't feel bad about it anymore. Like, I used to allow people to make me feel bad about who I am, right? But I feel like now that they're just projecting, because I'm so, because I'm quiet and they can't figure me out. But there's really nothing to figure out. Like, I'm really, a down to earth person. I don't bother anybody. And I'm really like chill. And I speak when I feel like I need to, right? But I've gotten so much better at telling people no. And it feels so good. It feels like me giving a hug to myself, if that makes sense. And because I've always been like a yes person, and I know now I cannot continue to just say yes. I also feel like it was something that I had to get rid of, where I felt guilty for allowing other people to like give to me, right? Without me having to give in return, because I've always been the giver. Even when I didn't have, I just felt like, oh, if I have it at this time, then maybe they need it more than me. Like, but now that I'm learning the importance of balance and giving to myself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. It just, no, it really does drain you. And with me learning that now, like, it took a long time, and I used to even feel so guilty, and I would let it bother me so bad, where when I was given something like free or whatever, something that I like would pray about or ask, source for, it was like given to me, but I felt like I still owed the person something back in return, just because I felt like I wasn't worthy of it. And I'm getting out of that mindset now, because I know that I'm more than deserving, right? I am a divine being, and I deserve everything that's coming my way. That means my highest good. especially like the desires of my heart, and things that are, meant for me. I had to understand that sometimes it's okay for certain things to pass through other people to bless others. And I go back to what I was saying. I was in a class, and I guess it bothered the person because I didn't talk that much. Whatever. I feel like I talked enough, but I didn't talk enough, or maybe I didn't exceed their expectations of what they thought I was going to be or something. I don't know. But I finally like released that place in my heart of trying to figure it out and why they were acting the way they were acting towards me, honestly. Part of it, I started to think that maybe because they're a talker and a dominant person, they couldn't figure me out, and they're never used to actually having to be quiet and actually sit with themselves. So by me being quiet, it probably intimidated them in a way, I don't know, maybe not. But now I just chose to like release it. I wasn't going to worry about it no more because the class is done and over with. I've done what I had to do in that, and I'm grateful. But they also stated that I seemed like I was nervous. I didn't feel like I was nervous in there. It was, I don't know, maybe I was taking on their energy and didn't even realize it, and it was just showing them their own energy, maybe. I don't know. It's not for me to even try to figure out anymore. I don't think I care anymore. But it's just certain things that have been, like revealing itself to me now lately. And I write it out. I've done a lot of writing and burning as well to release it, that too. I don't know. I just felt like getting on here to talk. And I don't know if I'm going to create more videos. I might not. Don't expect to get a video from me every day. It's not going to happen. I just want myself to be free of my own bad habits, my own limiting beliefs, right? My own programs that have became identities that I'm, letting go of as well. Anything that does not serve my highest good, I'm releasing it. And I'm just being patient with myself, giving myself grace. I'm not trying to sound like this scientific junkie or, from any research whatsoever. I'm experimenting, honestly. I'm experimenting and I am experiencing life. And I'm not aesthetic person. So you're not going to catch these videos where I have correct lighting or something fancy in the background or anything type of setup or none of that. You just get me, my vulnerable self. And I'm pretty sure I think also I wanted to share, I think a lot of people are dealing with the awareness of anxiety now so much because we as a collective are healing. And so it's on a mass level. So it's showing up, in everybody's energy field. And so with it coming up so much, it has no choice but to show up and release itself. And that's what it's doing. It does not feel good, but in order for, our DNA to get back to its natural state, I guess you could say, our body to get back to its natural state, our DNA to be replenished, and, for us to be able to continue healing, 7 generations back and 7 generations forward in ourselves. Like, that stuff has to come up, that's buried in our DNA, unfortunately, and it does not feel good. I've had plenty of dreams that don't feel good, of certain things that I've experienced as a child, and it does not feel good. I have to get it out though. It's coming up to surface more and more the older I get, and it's releasing itself. And oh my kitten just wants to be in the video. She's such a big baby. Such a big baby. But she doesn't get attention. But I am, being patient with myself. Like I said, don't know where this video is going to go to. Don't know who it's going to reach. Don't know whose spirit it's going to touch. Don't know who's going to resonate with. It might not resonate with anybody, but guess what? I'm showing up for myself, and, not being afraid to show up naturally me. And I have things that I'm working on. Like I said, I'll have these ideas and want to start something, and then it's just like, once I get my hands on it, I guess that I was just curious. I don't be interested in it, but now I am coming to a season where I'm taking holistic nutrition, right? Well, to become a holistic nutritionist, starting or whatever. We'll see how that goes. I'm not knocking it already, and I haven't even my first semester is not until 2 weeks for it. So it's gonna be interesting for me, because I've been asking for a lot more clarity lately. And one of the things that I know that helps with clarity is definitely cleansing the gut. So we're learning about the microbiome, the nervous system, of course, because I was studying psychology at a traditional college or whatever. And I don't know if it was just the traditional way of how things are going. Like, I had a 4.0 GPA, no problem. It just didn't do it for me. It was almost like, I don't even know how to explain it. Maybe it was the way of traditional teaching that was just like, that's not for me. So I transferred my stuff, and now I'm at a different non-traditional school, which I'm perfectly fine with. It's still accredited, but either way, like, I'm happy for, what this season is going to reveal to me, especially with learning about, the microbiome of the body, healing the gut, different ways of understanding the nervous system even more than what we learned in psychology on a holistic level. And I'm excited to see, where it takes me. I don't have it attached to myself to where I am focused on an outcome. And that's probably big for me, because I usually feel like I have to attach an identity, of something that I'm doing to me. And I just right now, like I said, experiencing and expressing myself has been the focus of 2026 to me. I like to tap out a lot when it comes to people, to tap into myself, and I hope nobody takes, offense to it or whatever, just because this is just me. I like to do that a lot. So, because I like, when I isolate, it seems like I can hear myself clear. Like, I can hear a spirit a lot clearer. And I don't do it, to hurt anybody or nothing like that. It's just my way of being with myself. I think a lot of times when I was a little bit younger, up until like my 20s, I craved always feeling like I had to have somebody with me. So to take a break from that is probably something that I personally needed to be able to begin to trust me, myself. and the decisions that I make in my life. And so, also it was like, let's see, different things that I've gotten into. It has been, and as y'all can see, just be patient with me as I get it out because I'm just talking, just getting it out. I know a lot of YouTubers probably, have everything organized with like their thoughts or their niches, and I'm probably just all over the place. But right now, I honestly don't care. I'm just proud of myself just for showing up. Like I said, this is equivalent to me like journaling it out, okay? Especially for a person that really doesn't like to show their face. So, yeah, this is me. I don't know. Can anybody else relate to a certain environment that like feeds their soul or like feels like home? I know I've been trying to look up what is that called? Art the cardiography thing or something like that. Excuse me, if I'm not saying it correctly. um, but it's like you can look up in your chart basically, and it can kind of tell you different areas that's probably best for you, based on like astrology and things like that. And one thing I noticed about me, it actually said like Arizona, California, things like that, which made sense because when I visited Arizona, like I felt so at home. Like they have that red clay, red clay dirt there, and it was so warm, and it soothed me. Like I felt so safe, and I love the sun. Believe it or not. You know how they say women, like, we're supposed to be connected to the moon and stuff like that. Not saying I'm not, but the sun does something different. Like for me, like it's so different, and which makes me think like I'm supposed to be in a tropical area. Number one, I love fruit. I probably could live off fruit, honestly. And number two, like the sun, that heat brings out a different version of me. Like I feel so much more enlightened. I feel like I'm vibrating higher and things like that. And I'm in where I'm at now, I'm in Tennessee, so it's pretty like neutral here, I guess you could say. You never know what type of weather you're gonna get here, but it's nothing like, West Coast. And maybe one day, that I'll move there and start a journey. Just, I don't know, never know. There or somewhere tropical in another country. I never know when I'm going to end up, but I also feel like the environment does have an effect on the nervous system. I also feel like your soul or your spirit, like you won't be at peace if you're not doing what you're called to do, if that makes sense. Like, especially if you're not even feeling balance with things that you're doing in your life, it's almost like it'll come in as a disruptor to cause chaos to get you back in alignment with where you're supposed to be at. And same thing like with your body. If you're, it'll almost like cause physical manifestations to happen within your body. You know how they say like certain things happen, pain, inflammation, dis-ease, things like that. I really feel like that's your spirit's way of telling you like it's not at ease. And yeah, like I just have a lot of things to share. If it touches anybody, like I'll be forever grateful. That you watched the video. Might have more to come. Like I said, I'm not gonna force any videos. Whatever my spirit feels like, hey, you need to show up, online. Like I'll do it. Tell them what'll come out. I just want it to be like raw, authentic, no aesthetic. It'll probably be more late night talks more than anything, just because I feel like I'm my calmest, after at night. So yeah, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your night. And if you're watching this in daytime, enjoy the rest of your day. Love.